Today we're going to be talking about a little bit of a different game than I normally review, but I promise you it's a super good one. That game is called Life is Strange. We're going to be doing a little bit of a double review as I have already played the first game and the prequel, and the new sequel is coming out this year, so I have to prepare for the new one before it comes out, so I figured I'd do a review of both. Starting with the story, it's a beautifully told story about two young women that starts off super normal and they're in high school, just living life and in love, but then one day, one of them, Rachel Amber, goes missing. And Chloe Price, the main character of the prequel, finds herself having to put together this mystery of trying to find out what happened to Rachel. With everyone in town telling her to just give up and that she probably just left town and abandoned everyone, her childhood friend Max Caulfield, the main character of the first game, comes back to town after living in Seattle for a super long time. And she started going to Blackwell Academy and just living life. And this is where things take a little bit of a weirder turn, as Chloe Price is shot while selling drugs in the bathroom to the school douchebag Nathan Prescott. And that's where Max, while creeping in the bathroom, discovers she has time travel powers and saves Chloe's life. Now that they're back together, they decide they're going to work together to find out what happened and save Rachel. And that's about as much of the story as I'll go into, because I don't want to get into any spoilers. I still want you to go play the game after this. But after that, let's just go ahead and get into my experience playing the game. I had a wonderful time playing this game. It's probably the best story game in my opinion. And it's not super short like most story-based games are. Plus, it's an actual affordable price, unlike games nowadays that are like $70 plus. This game is just $5 per episode, and the first one's free, making the game just $20 in all. Just 20 buckaroos to have one of the best gaming experiences possible. The gameplay is smooth and there's little loading screens, and the controls are super easy to get used to, even if you're not your average sweaty ass Fortnite player. Now, all games have their issues, this one included, but this game actually has the least amount of bugs in any game I have ever played. I only ran into 2 bugs this entire playthrough, which seemed to just be bugs that the studio has neglected for nearly a decade. Even though there's only 2 bugs I ran into, these were game-halting bugs that forced me to replay sections of the game over and over and over until the game finally decided to allow me to continue the story. I mean, I spent hours replaying the same scene over and over, watching tutorials on how to not glitch out the game. These bugs are super annoying, but even these issues can't keep this game down. Because this game is packed with emotion, action, mystery, and one of the craziest plot twists I have ever seen. If you ever have a chance to just get this game, just try it out. The first chapter's for free. No reason not to, right? The graphics aren't the greatest, seeing as how it's a 10-year-old game, but for the time, it was phenomenal. And even now, the remaster looks great. The best part about this game, I think, has to go to the amazing soundtrack, which you've been listening to this entire video. It's got so many bangers on the list, and these songs are guaranteed to make you cry yourself to sleep. Life is Strange really goes into depth on fleshing out its characters and making you really like those characters, as well as a feeling of personal connection, like you actually know this person. The development team did an amazing job on creating actual people, and the voice actors did an amazing job bringing those characters to life. The voice acting has so much emotion and really pulls you into the world. Now, this game does have some super dark plot points and elements to this game, so be wary, and if you don't like any topics related to murder, suicide, or kidnapping, I would steer clear of this game because it does go into those subjects, as it is kind of a light horror mystery game, but if you're fine with that, jump right in. Now, before we get into the rating, I'm going to get into a little bit of a spoiler for the game, so if you haven't played this, skip to this time on the screen here. Now, it's time to talk about the endings. There's only 2 endings total for this game, Bay or Bay. Option 1, where you choose to save Chloe and the town is destroyed, and option 2, where Chloe dies and the town is saved. This is the craziest fucking decision you could have ever made someone make after going through this entire game. And to the developers, I say, fuck you! But also, thank you for making this game. And for anyone who ever chooses Bay over Bay, you will rot in hell. But now that that's over with, let's get to the actual rating. As I've said multiple times, these games are the best story games I have ever played. With the graphics, gameplay, story, and bugs accounted for, I can confidently give these games a 9.9 out of 10. I will continue to support this franchise and suck them dry for content until they stop making them. And as my final words of this review, I say, I was eating those beans!
I was eating those beans. Are you fucking insane? I was eating those beans! Ugh!